So you know how some albums just really live with you? They're the ones that you throw on when you don't want to overthink, when you need something that just feels familiar but still manages to surprise you. These are my go-to records, the ones I keep coming back to, no matter what else I'm listening to. Now, as you can see from my surroundings, I'm out and about relaxing in the beautiful North Wales countryside at present, and this prompted me to produce this list. It seems really quite apt. Now, I've picked 10 absolute favourites, and because I couldn't resist, I'm sneaking in one extra as a bonus. Stay to the end for that one, if you will. No rankings, no grand claims, just albums that for me always deliver. So let's drop the needle and get started. To begin with, we've got Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Trilogy. Now, this is ELP at their most ambitious. Symphonic, fiery and surprisingly tender in places. It's very indulgent, but really in the best way. The title track starts as quite a gentle ballad before exploding into controlled chaos. It's a whole journey packed into one track. Now, Hoedown is a classical piece. It's reimagined here as a rock barn dance, fun, cheeky and completely infectious. And from the beginning, wow, a softer side of ELP with Greg Lake delivering one of his most heartfelt vocals. The next album is Jethro Tull Stormwatch. Now, the last gasp of Tull's folk rock era, and it really feels quite windswept and weather-beaten, full of North Sea atmosphere. The opening track, North Sea Oil, it's a fiery opener, railing against politics and energy greed. Dunringle is stripped back and haunting like a fireside folk tale with the wind howling outside. Orion, this sweeps between tender verses and dramatic crescendos. It's perfectly balanced. And number 3, Genesis and Wind and Wuthering. Now, this final Genesis record with Steve Hackett, and it's lush, romantic and quietly bittersweet. It's like a sunset caught in music. One for the Vine is a full-blown epic. It shifts moods until it reaches a spine-tingling climax. Blood on the Rooftops has Hackett's guitar paired with Collins' vocals in a really quite devastating movement. We always watch the Queen on Christmas Day. And the closer, Afterglow, it's a massive track that just swells with emotion. And 4, Bebop Deluxe and Drastic Plastic. Now, here Bill Nelson's is steering away from glam rock theatrics into something much more modern, edgy and really almost new wave. It's restless, but really quite brilliant. The track, Electrical Language. This has sparkling textures mixing guitar and electronics in a forward-looking opener. Then there's New Precision. It's more angular and sharp, and it could sit comfortably, really, in the post-punk era. And there's Panic in the World. It's really anthemic, yet really anxious. A perfect snapshot for its time. At 5, I've got David Bowie and Aladdin Sane. Now, if Ziggy Stardust was the birth of a star, Aladdin Sane is that star burning at full intensity. It's glamorous, it's unhinged, and really utterly magnetic. Watch That Man is a raucous, messy opener that drops you into the middle of chaos. Watch that man. Oh, honey, watch that man. The title track has Mike Garson's piano spiraling out of control. It's barely at his most experimental. And the track Panic in Detroit has got a sinister groove to it that really prowls with menace. Panic in Detroit, I asked for an autograph. And number 6, Wishbone Ash and Argus. Now this is twin guitar magic wrapped in medieval imagery. Argus feels nearly timeless, like rock filtered through ancient legends. The King Will Come is a majestic and heavy with riffs that really feel carved in stone. Throw Down the Sword is poignant and reflective, soaring into something unforgettable. Throw down the sword, the fight is done and over. Blowing Free has quite light, breezy and uplifting sounds to it. It's really the sounds of open skies. I thought I had a girl. I know. At 7, I've got Yes and Drama. Oh, this is a controversial album, I know that, but really one I absolutely love. Yes sounds sharper here, more urgent and still bursting with complexity. Machine Messiah is a track that's really dark and brooding and really epic in scope. Tempest Fugit is fast, tight and ridiculously catchy, and it really does prove that Yes can groove. And then does it really happen? We've got a funky bass here and joyous energy. It's underrated but totally brilliant. That's what you say. Could it really happen? Number 8, John and Vangelis, the Friends of Mr. Cairo. Wow, what an album this is. It's dreamy, cinematic and totally unique. John Anderson's voice floating over Vangelis' lush synthscapes. The track State of Independence, it's really so spiritual, uplifting, almost like a hymn to humanity. The title track itself is quite nostalgic, quirky and packed with nods to Golden Age cinema. Then there's the track Back to School, really very playful and light-hearted and showing their sense of fun. Now at 9, I've got Mike Oldfield and Ommadawn. I love this album. Organic and immersive. Ommadawn feels less composed and more grown up. It's layered, folk-infused and utterly captivating. Side 1 builds patiently into something that's massive and intricate. Side 2 is darker and moodier with folk rhythms threading through. And then the finisher On Horseback, a joyous, almost childlike sing-along to close things out. And away we go through the grass, across the snow. And number 10, PFM and The World Became the World. This is Italian prog at its most glorious. Symphonic, melodic, but always warm and deeply human. The track The Mountain sweeps along cinematic and it's full of tension and release. Just Look Away is really quite delicate and heartfelt. It's one of their most moving pieces. They just look away. And then the title track is majestic and uplifting. It's a grand statement in literally every sense of the word. Now I'm throwing in a bonus, and Steve Hackett and Voyage of the Acolyte. I had to slip this in. This was Hackett's debut solo album and takes the spirit of classic Genesis and pushes it into stranger, darker territory. Ace of Wands, it's fast, fiery and just bursts with energy. Hands of the Priestess, gentle, flute-led and hauntingly beautiful. And then Shadow of the Hierophant, a slow, dramatic build to one of Prog's most powerful codas. So there we are, 10 albums I trust again and again, plus that bonus gem. Now what I love most is how these records never stay still. Tracks I've known for years suddenly hit differently dependent on where I am in life. That's the mark of a true go-to music. It grows with you. Now if this little wander through familiar favourites has struck a chord with you, I encourage you to list your 10 favourite go-to albums and send them in to me, and I will look to feature yours on a future video. Now my email address is in the description to this channel, along with some more information about the albums as well as details of how to support the channel should you wish. And the video on screen now is a much more in-depth look at the first of these go-to albums listed. Watch that one next, and I'll see you over there.